All right, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sets here on Capcom Fighters, where we pit two extremely strong players in a 1-7 exhibition, as well as have some pre-match and post-match interviews. Because everyone thought this was a podcast last time, but I need to let you guys know. We have a little chat with some of the players, and we're going to get a deeper insight to how they feel about their characters, the game, and everything Street Fighter. I'm going to be your host once again, Jammerz, and alongside me, he's back, and he's going to be sticking with me for a very long time. Veggey, talk to me. How are you feeling today?
Shukran Habibi. I'm feeling really good. You know how it is. Nah, I'm extremely excited for this day, this set. I hope we see Sagat against Mika, but is you never know. At least we'll see Mika, right? Because there is just Mika on that side right now. Soon
Well,
Rose,
yeah.
but not now. So yeah. So seeing, in my head, I would imagine this. I have an imagination of the matchup, but I won't speak about it until we're getting closer to the set itself.
Okay.
Really excited.
I mean,
Geared up.
he doesn't
Whoa,
want
ready.
to.
Let's go.
Veggey doesn't want to give any tactics to the players at hand and making sure that
That's
they
a
get
good
the
point.
edge on one another. But yes, tonight we will be having Luffy going up against Reinhardt as the exhibition for tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the action we had last week with Problem X and Phenom, 7-5 to Phenom in the end with a matchup we don't see. But with these two, Luffy, as we know, notorious for his buxom blonde Mika, and he's sticking by that character until his true love returns to the game later on this year. And Reinhardt, he's had a plethora of characters under his belt, but the king is no longer a clown. So he's been locked into Sagat for quite a while. So we're gonna have to see which characters these guys go for. And again, it's first to 7. These guys, they're known for the long sets. They've got quite a background, not just with they got a background just in Street Fighter in general. Funnily enough, we are going to bring this point up multiple times today, and I was talking about it with Veggey and the Visual Platform team. Shout out to the Visual Platform. Is for those of you who do not know, there actually, I don't think there's very little or there is non-existent footage of Ryan and Luffy playing against each other in tournament for Street Fighter 5. We were actually looking quite a bit, and we couldn't find any. Veggey, could you find any?
I checked with Luffy on Facebook because, you know, I'm friends with top players like Luffy. I even call him Olivier. And Olivier, I mean, Moinard. But I asked him because I thought, why check? Because I don't really know any. So I checked with him and he said, no, I don't think we played tournament in Street Fighter 5. I know they played exhibitions and, of course, a lot of free play. But tournament footage, we can ask Ryan if he remembers. But I don't think they've met that much, which is interesting, Jammerz, because
talk to me.
Pre-16ers wouldn't know, and it's nothing wrong with being a 16er. There's nothing wrong with being a 16er. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying pre-16ers, they don't. 16ers and above, they don't know, or that this was the classic.
It was.
Reinhardt, Luffy, Grand Finals was the classic. They were undisputed the two strongest Street Fighter 4 players in Europe.
For a
long time, especially if we go by tournament result. One can always argue about what about Alyun. And we all love Alyun.
Shout out to Alyun.
Shout out to Alyun, but we must also respect tournament attendees and kind of what they've done. And you know, Luffy's run in 2014 was absolutely amazing.
For sure.
And who can do that? So, but they used to be like a classic. We used to see them. That's what we saw at the end of tournaments when we were all sitting on top of each other, sweaty and done with the tournament. But these days, they are not playing each other so much, which makes this an even more interesting set, I think, Jammerz. But they have an insane history, and I think it started in tournament in 2010 SVB after Reinhardt eliminated Daigo, who, incidentally or funnily enough, used Cammy. And
damn, I didn't even know like Cammy and Daigo in the same sentence. That's unreal. That's very foreign to me. I didn't think he'd stoop so low.
No, I'm quite the historian when it comes to the FGC, so they're written down in the books. But the reasoning for his Cammy pick was because in free play or money match or whatever,
casual, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever. He beat Reinhardt. Really showed his Ryu. You can't go Ryu against my Dhalsim. So Reinhardt played Dhalsim against him in front. So they do the blind pick, and in the blind pick, Daigo went for Cammy, and Reinhardt went for Ryu, beat the Cammy, and then won the Ryu mirror. And moved on to Grand Finals, where he was eliminated by Luffy. Great story. You should check it up. It's on YouTube.
Hey, listen, I'm sure like these guys will be able to impart some knowledge and feel nostalgic when they join us for the call. They will be joining us very shortly. We just are making sure that they're all fine and good to go. Again, they're going to be having an exhibition and obviously post-match interview as well. We're going to be talking to them a little bit about the matchup that transpired, see what happens there as well. But I think beforehand, like we said, we're going to get these guys to feel a little bit nostalgic and obviously just pick their brains about a couple of things because, again, Street Fighter 5 Season 5, or the final version, has been out for a good 2-3 weeks now. So people have, I wouldn't say they're, 6 feet deep or like, neck height into V-Shift and figuring things out. But it seems that, again, with how the FGC has developed and cultivated new ways of learning the game over time, it's we've definitely learned things at a rapid pace. So it's like, yo, I didn't even know this was a thing. People are starting to counter V-breaks to the V-shift like we saw in the trailer. People coming up with even more interesting anti-V-tech. So maybe these guys, both of them will use it like liberally. Maybe they might not use it at all. I know Luffy has a fair bit to say about V-Shift, which we will ask him about that very soon. And Ryan, obviously, choosing and changing characters and whatnot. Who knows? He might be actively using it, he might not. But we'll definitely have to see there.
I think with Ryan, the V-Shift is... I think Sagat with V-Trigger is... like, I see, when I watch Bonchan play this weekend, I saw a lot of times after activation, a lot of life going in that comeback, because those buttons are good when you have something like the V-Trigger behind it.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can freely just waste your V-Bar with Sagat. You definitely need to think about it with him too, even though my popular belief might be that Sagat V-Triggers are ass. They are...
no, do you know what? I think, personally, sorry to interrupt there, Tiger
No,
Cannon I do think is extremely strong. I do feel it should have been 2 bars or given an extra Tiger Cannon with the 3 bar. I know, that's just me. And look, you're pulling that face, but look at, let's see the absurdity you've seen in Street Fighter 5 over the years. Poison's damage output. Manat's V-Trigger 1 used to be a 2-bar. Abigail's V-Trigger 1 used to be a 2-bar. Guile at one point used to have a 2-bar V-Trigger before they reverted it back. Let's not forget about Barrel. Some of the stuff you've seen in this game, and you're telling me Sagat cannot, you know, have a little bit of fun with an extra Tiger Cannon at his disposal. I don't know.
He can have the cannon, but remember, they used to be a 2-bar. That's a very important part of your statements. Used to be,
but they're
not anymore.
But there was a certain point, a period of time where they were a 2-bar trigger, and it's like, okay, so if you're not going to make it a 2-bar trigger and keep Tiger Cannon at 2 usages, give him an extra Tiger Cannon. You know what it is?
Maybe.
So
3 cannons could be interesting. So
it could be interesting, but
yeah.
I want to hear about it from the man himself. But we're gonna have a little chat with these guys before they kick off into the first 7. Ladies and gentlemen, let us bring on Luffy and Ryan Hart into the call with us. Gentlemen, can you both hear me loud and clear? Do we have them here?
Yeah, hi, I'm good, yeah.
There's Luffy, we got one. Where's the other one? He's missing. Is he there?
I can hear him. Yeah, he's there.
Oh, he's right there. I can't hear him.
I can hear Ryan.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. There he is.
There
I
you
could
go.
hear him now. Lovely. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight for this exhibition on Capcom Fighters here. Now, you two, we're going to kick it off, being a little bit nostalgic here. You two have had, you know, a competitive background or some sort of rivalry longer than probably I've been playing and for a long time. And Veggey did bring that up as well. And it's interesting because you have to counteract this as well. You guys haven't really played in Street Fighter 5. Obviously, you guys got responsibilities, different places at different times. But I don't think there's any tournament footage of you two playing Street Fighter 5 together.
Early CPT, early SF5 CPT, we did play a couple of times in a CPT tournament. Once at Versus Fighting and once at the Frankfurt Rumble. But yeah, and also and at Celtic Throwdown we played in the team tournament.
Oh, okay,
but yeah,
okay.
But not too much tournament stuff from me and Luffy, I think, on 5. Or Luffy, do you remember any other times?
No, actually, don't really remember. I
Yeah.
mean, SF5, there is so many tournament I did, we all did. I don't really remember.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's interesting. But because it was just something like, as we were building up to this today, it's just something we noticed because we were just scummaging around trying to look, and we're like, I don't think these two have actually faced each other in Street Fighter 5. And they've played thousands upon thousands of hours regarding this game. But Veggey, you had a very interesting question you wanted to pose on these two regarding the history between them. So do you want to ask them that question real quick?
It's like both of you were undeniably the 2 best players from Europe, at least tournament-wise, that we saw. And you played each other so many times. But the first time I can remember, which I think is the first time, was SVB 2010. And I'd like to just ask, like, for the both of you, how you feel that the other has changed since then. What is like the good parts that you've seen that is new and added to the game or the gameplay that you didn't see in the beginning when you started facing each other? Because it's been, what, 11 years? So there must be a lot of it. I could start with, for instance, Ryan then, on Luffy.
So what's changed about the game, or what I feel changed about Luffy?
Luffy as a player, like how he's evolved.
I think his experience, obviously, you know, as the time's gone on, he's learned from experience. I feel Rose is very different to Mika, for example.
Sure.
You know, of course, like the whole game plan of one running away zoning, and the other one trying to get in and oppress is completely different, right? So I think, Luffy shows a lot of versatility there. He shows he's able to play both ends of the spectrum. He's not someone who can only play one style. He's very good at mixing and matching with each particular character. We've also seen situations where he's rushed down with Rose as well, and maybe played slightly more defensive with Mika. So I think versatility is something I would say for Luffy that I've observed personally over the time. Also seen him play KOF 13, a very different game.
I remember that.
But he has. I've seen over the period of time that in his longevity in career, he has a lot of depth and versatility, and that's something I've always respected about his playstyle.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting answer to the question, because I remember there was a lot of talk about how Luffy would adapt to this aggressive meta, which, as you say, he did very well. So
yeah,
there was definitely that thing in the start. So I think it's interesting that you say the parts about versatility, because there was definitely a change and he did it. So
yeah, all right. And then Luffy, what do you think about how Ryan's developed as a SF5 player over the years, despite not playing him as much as you did in SF4?
Yeah. So firstly, in SF4 we got matched on a lot of time. Most of the time in winners final or in top 8 or in grand final, and since we played a lot of time in a tournament format, and I was I was myself kind of new to the scene, and Ryan was like a veteran, more than 10 years. It's funny because now that you say that I have more than 10 years of experience, so that means Ryan have 20 years of experience, which is a lot more. But I know that it's because I was facing him so much, and even F-Word, Andreas, and all the UK community and the European community, that made me the player I am today. At least the level of play I can achieve right now is obviously thanks to him.
Yeah, well done. I mean, that was really good.
Because I'm playing against a great player like him, and like all the European community, that I could achieve this level of play. It's obvious. But I think the switch was kind of difficult for Ryan from SF4 to SF5, because first he went back to a regular job at ESL, which means he had less time to train as well, and also Ryu was a great. I think you started with Ryu.
Ken.
Oh, he started with Ken.
I believe it's
SF4, Ken. Yeah. The first character on SF4 was.
I mean SF5.
Oh, SF5.
Oh, SF5. Oh, SF5. I started.
I think it was Ken, wasn't it?
Oh, way back. Yeah. It was Ken. In the beginning.
It was Ken, and I bet you were very used to like a very zoning
Yes.
like fireball, as I knew from Ryu or Sagat in SF4. And I think now that both characters are in the game, because at some point you went to Guile, which was going back to a very defensive playstyle with fireball, anti-air, etc. And now I think you can really come back to Ryu, because he's great, and I think you might go back to your successful time from SF4 and SF5, I think.
It could definitely be reminiscent, because Sagat's good and Ryu's good. But let's move on to some SF5 orientated questions here. Luffy, I want to start with you, because you're notorious for not giving the real answer on social media. So I'm going to try and get something out of you now. Has V-Shift affected the way you play Street Fighter V right now with Mika?
Sorry, why do I play Mika, right?
Oh, I can still hear you. There's a little bit of a buzz, but I'm not sure that's coming through.
Okay, so
There was a lot of echo from Veggey, I think.
Oh, okay. I think it's sorted now. But yeah, sorry about that, guys at home. But yeah, how badly or how has V-Shift affected the way you play the
Oh,
game
yeah.
and on
All
Mika?
right.
Because you're still
Yeah, yeah.
smoking some fools. You unwanted 7-1s. Obviously, you beat Low Heat. You're still running amok against a lot of the community in the EU scene. I think the only time I've seen you really get battered was that set you had with Mr.
Well,
Crimson
yeah,
the
but,
other day. But
when I put those big score was unwanted when there was no V-Shift yet. But yeah, V-Shift is pretty bad, I think, for Mika because Mika doesn't really excel in neutral game. Like,
yeah,
even if I hit you in neutral, my conversion is pretty low. The character was created to have a strong pressure, like very close range. Not even a range like stand medium punch or stand medium kick range, like a very close range with like a stun light punch, and V-Shift definitely affect her offense.
makes it harder to land the grab and then obviously keep on
Yeah,
top. And I think it makes you like have more harder reads, like audacious reads, and sometimes you're just gonna guess wrong anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And Mika is not the kind of character who deals a lot of damage in her opening. Like, I think it's it might be the only character in the game who actually use a lot, who actually start her pressure with like free light.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of character who doesn't deal a lot of damage, but it actually snowball. Like she put you in the same situation when she succeed her offense. But the fact that V-Shift is actually actually evade either grab, command grab, or
The button.
hit
Yeah.
a button. The fact that I have more chance to go back to neutral means all matchup get harder.
Okay, because obviously I had to ask, and obviously I've been playing Mika for a long time myself, and I like mid-screen, obviously you can use the V-shift and avoid all her pressure, go back to neutral, but when she's got you in the corner, it's just another day at the office for Mika, you know? You still got to guess the left, right, button or command grab, and if you do get that hard read on the V-shift, then the opponent has probably lost the game. So I just wanted to hear from you, because you have stuck with this character, and I want to ask you one more question before we move on to Ryan Hart, talk to him for a little bit, is all the Mika players, myself included, we've either jumped ship or we've added to our arsenal. Fudo added Poison and the Birdie, El Chakate, shout out to Chakate, he's added Lucia, and he dabbled with G. But you have just stuck with Mika. You tried Colleen, that didn't really work out, and Rose is on the horizon. What made you stick with Mika for this long? Was it time? Was it you didn't like any other character? What was it?
Yeah, it was just simply motivation. I'm the kind of player that get affect. Like I have some affect to the character I play. If I don't like the character, it's pretty tough for me to motivate myself into playing the character.
Okay,
And
interesting.
it can be play style, it can be the design, it can be many reasons. And yeah, when like Rose is obviously it's an historic character for me because it's a character that made me what I am right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty excited to play here. And I've got asked many times this question that imagine if Rose is bad, will I play here? Oh, yeah,
You'll play them
yeah,
side by side. I know you will.
yeah, obviously I will play here. And with the fact that V-Shift actually affect a lot of Mika gameplay, I think that Rose might be already better than Mika.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But it's going to be interesting regardless. And again, I had to get that out of you. But now, moving on to Ryan Hart. Now, the thing I want to ask you regarding Sagat is, I think it's been about 3 weeks since this new version of the game has come out. And I think I've just seen you 100% locked into Sagat. I haven't seen any Urine, haven't seen any Guile. It's just been Sagat. So overall, what do you think about him right now? Are you know, is there a specific V system layout that you're using? Is Sagat really flexible? Like, what's the verdict on the king right now, Ryan?
So I think right now we're looking at a situation where Sagat has definitely seen improvements. He does still have difficulty in the same in relatively similar scenarios that he did before.
Oh,
Where he has a
okay.
very awkward size. she suffers heavily on versus characters that have multiple ways around the Tiger Shot.
Okay.
You know, if you're looking at, you know, various EXs or a CA to get in, or a V trigger, a forced V trigger activation into pressure, or just a regular jump in, you know, a character that has multiple ways to avoid Tiger Shot always gives Sagat a lot of headache, and that as a problem still very much exists. One of Sagat's weaknesses.
Okay, that's interesting. Similar to what Problem was saying about Alex, they kind of like fixed his strengths or made them better, but the weaknesses are still like, you know, apparent and pretty hard to like kind of turn around or circumvent for the developers there. But another thing I gotta ask you is it, have you been using V-Shift a lot, or has it just been like stone cold Tiger Cannon and just like relying on that damage, that comeback factor that Sagat has? Because I see, from what I've seen, there's been a resurgence in Sagat play, obviously because he got improved, but some Sagats use V-Shift to generate space to throw Tiger Shots, and other guys like yourself, they hang on to the V-meter to get the Tiger Cannon and make the comeback. So is there like a particular game plan for certain matchups, or is it just, no, I'm just sticking with V-Trigger 1 the whole way?
I mean, I can't really generalize about what other Sagat's doing, but personally, I'm still sort of figuring my way around exactly how I want to implement that long term.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
I have been playing around with it a little bit, looking at different punishes in training mode where I can use it, doing it in matches in specific places. Obviously, it's a bar, you know, it's a bar of 3, whereas, you know, you're looking at 3 for V-Trigger, where sometimes you need the V-Trigger. So I haven't been trying to use it everywhere, because it can just end up being a waste of resources unless you know specifically what you're going for. But yeah, I think it's really useful. The thing is with that, obviously, the more options you have, then the more variety for strategy exists, right? The more creative a player can be. So I think it's going to become more and more paramount to success to have that in your strategy with it, whatever the character is, right? Whether it's the best character or whatever. So for Sagat, because he's so big, I do notice that people like to sort of kind of bulldoze their way in, whether it's by using different jump arcs to mess him up in the air, or, you know, just getting in on the ground. So close combat just becomes a thing you have to deal with. People know exactly what they want when they get in. So V-Shift has a lot of uses, because people are generally quite predictable with because what builds pressure is usually a very small basket of moves.
Yeah.
You know, so once people get in, you kind of know what they're looking for, and yeah, V-Shift can be really useful there.
Yeah.
There's also kind of an, not OS, but, you know, you can kind of do the V-Shift once you know the move's coming out, and then you see what happens on the screen. If it's a move that has recovery, you stop at the V-Shift. If it's a move that's going to be safe and not necessarily give you anything back, you continue, hold the buttons, and go for the V-Shift break and get the knockdown, take the grey life and the observation. So there's a lot of usage in terms of just analyzing an opponent from V-Shift, which I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about. People are always talking about what's guaranteed after it, or what, you know, what you can do by pushing them to the corner through projectiles. But just the observation perspective of that is really cool, because you get to see, oh, so they were looking for that there, right? Cool. Spent a bar, got him down, got some grey health. Let's move on. But the observation factor is really key there, where you can actually analyze and download an opponent through safe options like a V-Shift.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that and bring it up, just to echo what Ryan was saying. It's a case where I'm very interested to see long term how V-Shift will be, you know, beneficial to Sagat, and how people are going to be using it against him, because again, I've seen a couple people try to V-Shift the Tiger Shot, then V-break through and catch him, like his hitbox or something like that. It doesn't really work out. I've seen that his forward HK, the high step kick, it catches V-shifts on wake up because it doesn't trigger the slowdown and you get the crush counter. So there's a couple of things around that, and hopefully we get to see maybe one of you or one or two of you guys bait this V-shift in this set tonight. I can't wait to see that. But Veggey, have you got any remaining questions before these guys jump into this set and then we talk to them afterwards?
Sorry, because my mic, there was some issue with the mic, so you couldn't hear me earlier. But you know how you asked Luffy about the V-shift situation, and I would like to ask Luffy, do you think if you weren't playing Mika, an option like V-shift, is that something that you would have probably liked if your character wasn't so reliant on putting people in a mixer?
Well, I'm trying to look at an option as a whole, like how it incorporates in the game and in the gameplay. And I actually think that V-shift is like too much easy mode. Like the risk from I think the risk is minimal.
Okay.
Because it's just like a better backdash. Like it's a backdash that actually evade anything. And imagine I was guessing like right on a backdash, I will crush counter you.
Yeah.
But now it's the same. Like it's an option that actually evade a lot of things, and the fact that it actually it actually reward you with half the V shift.
Yeah,
back.
when you get half the V meter back, I do find that a bit wild. I do find that a bit wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine if you do EXDP and you get rewarded with half the meter.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty weird. But yeah, obviously, if I was playing like a very neutral based character, obviously the V shift will be like a great option. I mean, I'm playing a game, and if the option is here, I will obviously use it. But as a whole, I think that the option is just too strong, and the risk is too minimal. But
Interesting.
I actually think that the V shift, the active frame of the V shift are too much. You have to do like a 10 frame gap to actually beat it, or 11
Yeah, to
frame
not
gap.
trigger the slowdown, you need to do a very extremely slow move. And then obviously that's making a hard read in itself. And obviously, like you said,
So now it actually make the offense pretty risky. Instead of giving like a defensive option, which is a defensive option, V shift is, but the fact that it actually penalizes the offense so much, I think it's just pretty weird.
Yeah, you know what? No, that's a very, very interesting perspective, because remember, he's playing a highly aggressive character, and she didn't really get changed. I know she's got some interesting change regarding her V skill and whatnot with stand medium kick, but a universal mechanic did hinder a lot of characters, and Mika is one of them. I still think she can work to a certain degree, but obviously Luffy is the Mika to listen to right now, so it's interesting. Gentlemen, thank you very much for that pre-match interview there, but we'll be getting onto this set right now. I will be sending you guys an invite to your CFNs. Luffy, just double check you are on your PC account, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll be sending you guys an invite very shortly, so much appreciated to you guys. You guys get ready to play, and then we're going to see a first 7 between these guys, and we're going to talk to them afterwards and hear their thoughts about this set over there. Let me just get ready. There we go. All right. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. What do you think, Veggey?
I think you know what. I think the reason I asked this question is because I feel like the answer is a bit biased towards Mika or Mika favored.
It might be a bit biased towards their characters, though, if you think. About it.
Yeah, but so that's why I wanted to hear if he might have been more open to it if he played a character that doesn't really rely that much on offense. And I can understand their frustration, but I also feel like it was needed to have some kind of other defensive option in the game. But I can see some of the points like rewarding half V meter back, because then you're kind of getting out for free, even if you can't punish what you get out from. So, but it's a new mechanic. You might have some. I like the direction and the general use of it, but I could see why it would be frustrating, especially the reward for V meter might be a bit.
I mean, like, obviously, just elaborating on what Luffy is saying, it's offense is now, it looks more risky because you're trying, in consideration of a V shift, you're trying to punish it, and therefore you're going for very brazen and very slow moves, which allows the defender to use their other options. And this is what I was saying before. V shift is a new mechanic, it's a new thing, but it should make all the other options look way better than they did before, because it's like, right, backdash now looks amazing. Now people are going to be waking up tech. They're going to be doing immediate throw tech. They're going to be waking up jab. It's going to be absolutely insane. And hopefully we see some V shift and V break punishes with these two tonight. So I do have them in the lobby. So I'm going to put myself, let's see, swap that out. And guys, if you are listening, you are good to go. More than happy to play. Let me just drop that. Let's see. There you go. They're all good. They're all good. They're going to get ready to play. Guys, thank you very much for waiting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little interview with them pre-match. We're going to be joining them again after this set is done. It's going to be a first to 7, and I think we are going to be seeing Mika against Sagat. If Luffy does have any other characters, don't bring them out. don't bring them out.
Unless we're talking really bad score, we might as well. But yeah, I'd imagine even Colin would struggle against Sagat, so just stick with Mika until that patch drops Rose, and then you can finally discover your
when Rose
truth.
comes out, I think you're not going to hear a word from Luffy for about a month. Right.
Yes, there will be.
He'll be tweeting, he'll probably streaming here and there, but he is going to be grinding like never before. He's going to feel just like it was in the SF4 days, and we are seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. Mika going up against Sagat. This was pretty interesting back when Sagat came out. Because again, Street Fighter 5, highly aggressive, a lot of people were jumping. People forgot Sagat did have uppercuts to anti-air. And the way that Mika circumvents or finds a way around fireballs, drop kick goes over, crouching hard kick goes under, the extreme peach punches through, but you don't get that bar for a couple of seconds.
But you see already that even like Sagat's auto play, the thing he does can counter the thing Mika does without the effort. Like you saw the high tiger shot there. So I would say
there's a V shift immediately on the delayed frame trap from the Lady Mika. You better keep that in mind. This is where you got to be careful about using your V shift against Mika, because when she's got you in the corner, all she's got to do is neutral jump, hit the jump fierce.
Yeah. One guess on the V shift and you in a very bad position. Great.
He's not dead. Is he going to V shift? I wonder. No, he backdashed, and that's what Luffy was looking for, a V shift. That's it.
That was close. I think he could have DP'd because there's definitely not a punish on the activation.
Oh, not dead from the overhead. He tried to do the classic dash up command grab, take that round there. Do you know, we saw a lot of information being shown there in that first round between these two. And it is going to be incredibly difficult for Luffy to get in against a strong Sagat player like Reinhardt.
Definitely. And you know, you can see Ryan is actually not just interested in the zoning. He's been dashing in on Luffy, catching him off guard. He's not been ready for it yet. So I'd like to see if that changes as we go on.
Another thing as well, EX Tiger Uppercut is going to look absolutely insane because of V-Shift. There's a break.
But that was a really good bait, like a Kami dive kick. Make sure that it's a bit risky to anti-air.
Oh, he'll take that trade any day of the week. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a 1st-to-7 set, and what you need to do is you need to pay attention to what Luffy does on every knockdown, because he has to guess between backdash, tech, and a V-shift and a DP, right? Each and every time. He gets right that time.
I think that's a Luffy special too. He's stubborn, so he'll do it again. See, there he didn't have the V-shift ready, I guess.
Do you know what's insane for me? Just to interrupt you there, sorry. Do you know what's insane for me? It's how stubborn these top players actually are.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I think it might be. Oh, that was a beautiful answer. I think it might be a bit about that. You know that annoyance when you get punished for something you don't feel like they should have done. So you feel like I should do this again. This is a good option.
Oh, misses grab, but he gets a cover from the Deshko. That's fine, but he's still a life deficit here, and Ryan has still got 1 bar, and he's got V-meter to work with here. So let's see if Luffy cages in the corner really well.
There's the Tiger Knee, ready to check it though. That Tiger Knee is still minus, right? When you block it like that.
Yeah, he'd need to do the Hanuman charge, the V skill 2 to make it plus. I think right at the tip it can be 0 or +1. I could be wrong. Could he lose the game? He did!
Oh, the 3rd DP in the set.
And this is it. This is what Luffy was saying. Offense feels a lot more risky. Like, Mika was already taking risks anyway, again, but before, she didn't have to worry about V-shift, so she just, out of the pressure with the buttons, clip the backdash, or go for the grab when she conditioned you. And Luffy has some of the best mind games in the business. When you sit there and take a grab, do not feel bad about yourself. Trust me. But V-shift kind of neutered his offensive gameplay, Veggey.
And you saw Ryan use both V-shift, backdash, back jump, neutral jump, and EXDP on like almost rolling, you know, the cashier thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely just mixing it up, which makes it more annoying for Luffy to deal with.
There's a tech from Ryan. He might grab him in a sec. No, he didn't. Crush counter, guessed wrong. And then he's going to charge up the V skill. Oh, he went for a reset. Why'd you do that?
That's the Luffy special.
Oh no, he can lose the game from this. Is he going to V-shift himself? No, wake up button. Oh god.
What?
I think he wanted to do that. I think he wanted to do wake up jab, because Luffy does it all the time. Wake up jab, it hits, it's +3, then he gets the command grab, so it's a tick throw. Well, I know what this guy's all about, despite losing
trying to bait. Because maybe he just adapts a bit better.
He's so good.
We see a lot of like baiting Reinhardt to anti-air, trying to get him to do the DP.
This is for the game. If he jumps.
Yes. But the super is there as well, so it's kind of risky right now.
Still blocking!
Nice blocks.
Oh, no.
One more.
Oh, the tiger shot right up close!
So gutsy from Luffy. I really like that. Even though Ryan was in chip territory with his super there, Luffy would just keep on going in. Just like, kind of like showing him that I don't think you think that I will do this.
Oh, did he try and read? I wonder if he tried to read over V-shift again. Yeah, this is it. Like, I can tell Luffy's very uncomfortable. And I've actually seen it in a couple of matches online. He's very uncomfortable trying to read people right now. But when he gets that read, look at this. Gets the round.
Beautiful, yes. And that neutral jump would have beat both the tech and the V-shift.
This is exactly what he's doing. Trying to beat the tech, the backdash, the V-shift. I think at that angle, it could avoid the tip of EX Tiger Uppercut. I could be wrong. I could be
It might be a thing. Oh, and there we have it again. Just baiting that.
Yeah, good bait.
So he'll definitely make
There
Reinhardt,
it is.
and it's ready. Yeah. I think it would make Reinhardt more wary. Oh, the reset.
Ryan's done it
No,
again.
Ryan, let's go, Ryan. Yeah.
I'm going to explain something after this has happened, but let's see how this match transpires here. Luffy trying to make it one apiece, but there's the tight cannon activation.
And here you see the combat potential of V-Trigger from Sagat. Nice quick rise. So
Nice
that
trigger.
jump didn't work.
He's dead. That's it.
And that's the Luffy special.
1-1. All right. So I was saying before, obviously, to Luffy while he's explaining about how V-Shift has impacted his gameplay or Mika's gameplay and offense over in Street Fighter 5. You have to remember, right? As much as it is a guess for the attacker, it's a dangerous guess for the defender as well. Because again, if you guess wrong, and you're in the wrong position anyway. Because look, one combo you're near the corner. If Luffy does get the right read on your V-Shift, full combo from a jump in, reset again. And you're like, am I going to take that risk again with the V-Shift? Some characters, they'll just keep abusing medium kick and hard punch to get the V-Shift, get the hell out of it. Right? Other people, they'll sit there and take that grab. It all depends on how stubborn Ryan actually is. Another jump.
And the thing about this jump, I feel like he's been doing the splash so much that Ryan is trying to explore other anti-airs, and then comes the jump heavy punch just like that. I really like this kind of conditioning plan that we see from Luffy so far.
This is it. Good block again. Gets that grab. I think he thought Ryan was gonna. I thought Luffy was gonna tech there as well. Reset.
And then there was that a that should have been a
I think he
standing
tried
punch,
to get.
no?
I think he tried to get a meaty crouch.
The meaty one, yeah.
It might have been. I don't think it's Sagat specific, but yeah, he's gonna hold him here. Yeah, hold him here. This is fine. You have to be careful though, because Luffy can punch through.
He stands up, double it. Now he's in a bad spot.
He's gonna do TV super.
That was a nice dash attempt. I like that dash. It was very unexpected. Could have caught him off guard, get the combo to maybe super, get away from the situation, but Luffy had just jumped, unfortunately.
Interestingly enough, Luffy hasn't really been spending his meat on EXP. He's just like found a way, meatless, to get Ryan to the corner, whether it be Brimstone or a jumping hard punch combo. Like you said, made it difficult for Ryan to be consistent with his anti-airs. He has to walk under and block, and that's even a mix-up in itself.
Yes, that is definitely applying that plan good.
Tiger uppercut again.
Ryan can't stop him from DPing.
There's a backdash, it worked out, and he misses the follow-up there. That's a shame.
I really like how Luffy's confirming that the sweep hits, so he can still use the Nodeko.
Dead. Yeah.
And again, here we have this like stubbornness. He's been DP'd in that situation many times where Ryan waits for Nadeshiko to come and then just DPs anyway. But he still wants to go in because he doesn't really think he'll continue doing it. He doesn't want to be put in his place. He just wants to, I need to do this, so I'll continue doing it. And then maybe we'll see a bait in one or two of the same events after it started working. The baits might start coming. So that's interesting to look out for the viewers in this, I think, after Nadeshiko is activated.
Listen, Mika galvanized you into doing some silly stuff, and the longer the set goes on, you're definitely going to feel like, look, both players are going to feel awkward, man, because I think there's been more punishes on the EXDP than there've been successful hits. So Ryan's definitely going to feel bad about that. He was holding up the whole time.
I think Ryan.
Oh, God.
No, let's just continue. I'll take it after.
All right, there you go. That's perfect. I think he's found his flow right now.
Yeah, and I think Ryan feels very hesitant of V-shifting now because of the neutral jumps, but then went for a tech instead, and I mean, it's the same scenario, so...
Do you know what's crazy?
It's not that easy.
Ryan's only done one V-shift so far.
Yeah.
Backdash
like
again!
It was a nice backdash.
I think Luffy has to pay attention to when Ryan doesn't have any V-meter. That way he can go back to playing the old version of Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, and when Sagat does activate, he doesn't need to worry about it anymore.
For the other, that's a punish. That was a clean punish. He's trying to run away again. No V-shift yet, and he just delayed command grab.
Will he read it? Will he read it?
Oh no, he's gonna be. Oh.
Will he read it? He was waiting for it finally. Yeah.
Right. So if he sees that now, Luffy is literally just gonna start command grabbing him again.
So that was a really interesting situation because he would probably think Luffy's not gonna do it again. But maybe he will, so I'll wait. And Luffy thinking he won't, he doesn't think I'll do this again. I'll do it again, and then he was ready for it, which was very good.
There you go. I've seen delayed jabs, delayed throw techs, but he's managed to cage Ryan in the corner. Gets for the game. What's it going to be? Backed off. He could not wingless airplane twice. Oh my God, Luffy 3 times, and he's done anyway.
Yes, the double jab. Not the one jab, the double. Because Ryan definitely jumped the first jab there, but then the second came and still in range for that stunning command throw.
Damn,
so many.
Looking rough. 3-1. Luffy
Look
right
at Rush
now.
Downy. But as you said, Ryan Hart hasn't used reshift again. It's like he's afraid to be punished now. He's waiting for like some punish from
it.
Luffy, but Luffy's just not deterred. And it's a beautiful quality in itself to know that he will be afraid to use it now. So I don't have to look for it all the time, I think.
And here's the thing, like I said, Luffy is notorious for not giving you the right answer on social media. He said, V-Shift has hindered my gameplay, yet this guy is still running amok, still running like a locomotive over Ryan Hart. He's 3-1 up.
Nice blocking and great. That's a good anti-air option there, I think. And here we see Sagat just stopping the game, even though it's like, it's what Mika does, but I feel Sagat is dealing with it by just playing his game.
And he
You
still
see there?
has no resources on his right side, and he's 25 seconds working on the perfect here. If he jumps, that's it. That could have been it.
This is a really good game for Ryan in the round.
Perfect for a perfect.
Beautiful, yeah.
Eye for an eye. These guys. Ryan is making sure he doesn't go down without a fight.
Still not deterred from anti-airing, and I don't think he can be. He has to do it sometimes. Like, he can't just nice with punish. I was very ready.
This is it. Now, this is where it gets tricky for Luffy. If he walks a little bit closer, he can do X shooting Peach to punch through. Not through that.
Yeah, exactly. He just has to respect it for a while.
There it is.
Oh no. Something drop, maybe? Input drop?
Probably an input drop, yeah, but he's still in the corner anyway. No V meter for Ryan. Got
Yes,
XP.
that's
Block.
beautiful.
There you go.
Delay jabs. He's ready for, delay jab. He's thinking that BP might come. One more?
Right, that was a button into V trigger, but it came out to V trigger. Yeah, don't worry, that happens all the time. Do not worry. If you think people do V triggers were on defense, that's no longer a thing. They did a button. He didn't. The input probably got eaten.
Yeah,
To the V
just like. I think you're right about that, Jammerz. Nice stopping of the dropkick. Ready for it.
Another
not
brimstone.
reshifting.
Yeah, he's not going to do
Oh,
it.
the
He's not going to
delay.
do it.
No.
He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. I knew
he's
that
dead.
before that even happened.
That is such a... Especially Luffy always gets away with that, I feel. Forward heavy punch into EX command.
That is absolutely insane. Thank you to UYU for the raid once again. Also, congratulations on getting that diamond rank the other day. I did see that on social media. It is 4-1 to Lufkin right now. Luffy is proving to you people, Mika can still do something. At the same time, flip it on its head. Ryan is being very hesitant on defense to commit certain things. That first game, they let it all out. They let everything out. DPs, backdash, delayed jabs, everything. Ryan's not doing the wrong thing. He just needs to risk a V-shift every now and then. Sometimes you got to try and see where it works.
Too. Yeah. I think it's a bit about like those players that always bait you. Eventually, you just have to start doing it even if you think it might come. Because right now, Luffy's not scared, as you say, for the V-shift. And I think Ryan could risk taking it just to put that in that fear in his mind. Oh. Great jump angle. But he's missing on his throw punish.
Oh,
left or right.
Wow. Okay, blocks right. Is he stunned? Jesus Christ, he is.
Yes, nice confirm on that.
He's not dead though. Oh, he is. I liked you all.
And you're a Mika main.
Poison main. But I still play Mika, but
Ex-Mika main.
ex-Mika main. I'll take that. Nice crush cap.
Ah, nice. Oh, but he drops. That's unfortunate. Now he's in a bad spot.
Do you know what's crazy? I don't think we've actually seen Luffy trapped in the corner since the first game. I don't think we've seen that.
And if he was in a corner, I feel like he put himself there from a jump, so it's not the same. It's not letting him start his fireball game either. Just always making something happen so Ryan feels uncomfortable, I think. And confirming that hit.
Gets grabbed. He jumped out the corner. That could have been a trip guard.
Jab anti-air?
He's out. Yeah, he can't.
Did he jab anti-air?
He did.
I think he did. I think he kind of fortunate maybe. So I don't really know how Sagat's jump like kick is though in that scenario.
This is looking incredibly dire. This is looking bleak. I don't know if there's going to be a character swap. Ryan's going to stick with it through and through. But again, like I said, from what I've seen Reinhardt and CFN, because we are region locked, you can really look at the players or play the players in your respective regions. He is stuck with Sagat. And Luffy is obviously stuck with the Mika. It's working out right now. He's used his V-trigger, he's used the V-reversal, hasn't felt the need to be questioned 100% on defense because he has just been steamrolling Ryan.
1 second, I'm just gonna check something with my microphone.
All right, no worries, no worries. All right, there you go. Poking away into that stand fist as well. I think Ryan's going to have to be a little bit more audacious in the neutral, introduce a little bit more buttons as well, generate that space. There you go. He has to commit to something at this point. V-trigger's locked and loaded, so there's that freeway in for Luffy, but nice counter hit confirmed with a crouching medium punch there for Ryan. Then the step kick counter hit confirmed, and he is dead. Let's see if Ryan can make that comeback.
Yeah, I just looked away for a second. I feel the round was already in Ryan Hart's hands. Nice whip punish.
All right, there's Neek's Brimstone. Hard knockdown. Ryan's got to commit to something. What's it going to be?
Let's do it. No.
Oh, no! Luffy!
Classic Luffy.
Luffy's going to grab again! It's going to grab one more time! I told you!
No one drops it!
Oh, man, this
now
is
let's
insane.
see.
I don't think he's coming back from this unless he gets an anti-air. If he gets an anti-air, then he has to get a conversion to Tiger Cannon, but I don't think he's going to get it.
Let's see.
He needs that cannon so bad right now. He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. When Luffy knows that Rainbow Typhoon will kill you, he'll go for any means necessary. He'll go for that grab. Whether it's a tick throw, drop combo, something. He's landing that Rainbow Typhoon. That's what he's known for. There we go, another block drop kick. He is so scared right now. Ryan's doing things in trepidation. This looks... There you go, an anti-air again.
1 second. I'm just trying to make sure that Mike doesn't blow up the stream again.
Getting his full critical arts on deck, charging up that V meter. And he's got the V skill, remember. Mika can combo into a command grab now with that new change. Oh, that V skill 1 buff there. So let's see if Luffy's going to try and land that. Who knows? Slowly ensnaring on his opponent. Dashes in. Gets a sweep. Now Ryan needs some sort of critical art or something. He goes for it. Catches the dash with the critical art. And I think Luffy's just going to have, yeah, 1.5 bar V meter. He's still got CA. Oh, crash counter. This is big. This is so big right now. Oh, no. If he gets it wrong one more time, that's it. Oh, no. He tried a raw DP. No meter. Oh, no. That game literally slipped through his fingers. Oh, no. That's his game to lose. That's it. Not once did he try to V-shift. Not once. That's rough. That's rough. Not once did he try. He's in his head. He's in his head for game 3.
Yeah, the first round game was looking really good for Ryan, I think. He won the first game.
He won the first game.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be hard for Luffy. But he, as you said, stopped V-shifting. Did he do any V-shift again after that?
He has not V-shifted again. No. He hasn't.
The V-shift? No.
I've seen DPs, I've seen back dashes, I've seen block, I've seen jab. I have not seen another V-shift. And this is what I was saying, right? Because I was playing against Luffy the other day. I got completely destroyed, right? And I've been watching other Mika players, and they said V-shift might have killed the character. I was like, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Because they got to take that risk on defense. If they guess wrong, this is what's going to happen.
I do think I understand what you mean, but at the same time, in the mid-screen, we don't even see the V-shift, where it's very hard for Mika to get like a good punish. Again, Jammerz. Another dashing command throw.
Oh man, this is rough. Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be match point for Luffy. He has ran away with this set, and I do not know if Ryan has got any mental stamina left or anything left in the tank to turn this around. This is going to be very hard.
Yeah, if I think it's anyone that has it, it must be Ryan after these 20 years. I don't think he gives up until it's over.
That was if he gets it wrong, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He's done. He's done. That's done. Yeah, he's done. Oh no! Do you know what Luke's gonna do? He's gonna do jump, medium, passion press. No, he's not. Okay, he's not gonna do that combo. He's gonna do something else. Of course, he tried.
It's still not over. He's still in it.
I don't think so. You're not coming back when this guy's got an 80% life lead on you.
I mean, I can still believe in Ryan, so we'll see.
You can believe, but I'm a realist. I'm very pragmatic about life.
Debate there.
That's it. Nadeshiko's hit him and he's done.
That's it, yeah.
Oh,
reaction to the fireball. Nadeshiko finished.
That was absolutely rough. I think that is the fastest set I've ever seen when it comes to a 1st to 7. That was insane. But congratulations to Luffy for winning that there. 1st to 7, 7-1 after losing the first game. Was that the immediate infiltration? The download complete immediately? Like, that was absolutely wild.
It was. I was looking for us to have a long set here with Luffy on Ryan. It looked like it would be a long set, and it just turned into the Lowy special. The kind of set we had on Wanted before Crimson. I'd like to ask how the differences is in these zoners for Mika, because I would feel like Mika might suffer against zoning, this kind of zoning, but it doesn't look like it at all. I mean, he
that
had every
dude,
bait.
Listen, this is why I'm telling you. It's why I tell you people at home, don't 100% listen or believe what Luffy says, because he goes, yeah, it's hard, and then he does that.
But in Luffy's defense, though, there was no V-shift since round 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't get to experience the downsides of being V-shifted. So we didn't get to see that. So it's like Ryan forgot or was too like hesitant all the time, thinking the bait is coming now. Now it's coming, but it never came.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy, man. Like, we saw uppercuts, we saw delayed jabs, we saw back dashes, we saw a CA catch the forward dash. We saw everything but the V-shift of the first game. And that V-shift was actually successful. He blocked a jab, he went for the Lady Miko delayed frame trap, and it was successful. And then he never done it again. And it was like, we saw Luffy trying and trying, pressing to get that read. And like I said, it covers multiple options in the corner. But no dice, no dice. And the damage he was dishing out Ryan, it just didn't work out there. So that looked, again, that was pretty rough. That was washing indeed.
I did like a lot of the answers that Ryan had. Like, I even saw a couple of times, like, we've punished Mika's crouch fears with standing heavy kick, really ready for Mika. It's not like he wasn't ready for that character, I feel. It's just that when he got snowballed, he gets wrong all the time, and he never held up on the combo resets, which I think is maybe something you should do against Luffy, because he is known for.
I think he tried once, but then other than that, he tried the backdash or jab, and it just kept getting crushed kind of by Lady Mika. And like I said, Luffy has some of the best mind games in the business. Once he's found the way into your head, he's going to live in there, like they say in the meme on the internet. He's going to live in your head rent-free. He don't need to pay nothing, right? And there you go. Some of the highlights. Shouts to the boys for recording it in the background and getting it there. But like I said, this was absolutely disastrous, because you do not want to be on the receiving end of this, right? But this was crazy, right? I want to hear more about this from the players, Luffy and Ryan. Let's bring them back onto the Discord call, have a little chat with them before we have our closing moments there. So, gentlemen, are you with me?
Yes, here, loud and clear.
There we go. We got Ryan. Luffy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Luffy, I'm telling you, sometimes you just need to admit the truth and nothing but the truth. That did not that didn't look as hard as you made it out to be prior to this set. Now, the first thing I got to get out of the way is, Ryan, you used V-shift in the first game and then you never used it again. What was the thought process behind that?
So I think in general, my strategy in that matchup is clearly not mapped out fully. So I think once he started to apply his game, I didn't have space to think about V-shift. I was already focused on just I think my general game plan versus Mika is not fully developed yet. So rather than filling in with new things, I'm trying to get the actual game plan down first, you know. And yeah, clearly there's a lot of work to be done there. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Okay, now obviously transitioning over to Luffy. Luffy, it seems that, like, despite not liking the mechanic, and like I said, it's going to be a huge hindrance to Mika's offensive gameplay, it seems for the most part what you were doing was to cover the V-shift of all things on the knockdown. I did say to the viewers at home, it's, if anything you have to pay attention to, it's what Ryan does, his defensive choices on each and every knockdown that you get. But it seemed after a while, probably like game 2 or game 3, you looked completely comfortable there. Were you worried about V-shift as the set went on?
Yeah, I was definitely worried about it. But once I noticed that I had some facility to get into Ryan defense.
Yeah.
I was like, it's okay if I get hit by EXDP or if he V-shift away.
Yeah.
Because I knew that at some time I will be able to come back. But yeah, definitely I had to change my offense.
Your genuine approach?
Yeah, like for example, I'm basically speaking only about very close range.
Yeah.
So sometimes I had to like delay my forward
fist, yeah, then a delayed jab as well. We saw all of that.
Yeah, which got me some crush counter, but because that might be because he did backdash as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the best use of V-shift against Mika is to use it after blocking one light.
Yeah, I think it's funny you bring that up, because I see right now, I don't know how often you guys watch other replays outside of just getting in your usual game time. Veggey, this includes you as well, but I'm seeing a lot of people V-shift lights in general. And then, as Luffy brought up as well, one of the best areas to actually V-shift might actually be after a light, mainly in the mid-screen. because it avoids the general mix-up of a button or a throw. And obviously Luffy was trying to cover that as much as possible against Ryan, but outside the first game, Ryan did mix up all his defensive options outside of the V-shift. And obviously me and Veggey were saying, it's if you just integrated that a little bit more, it would have made the defensive options a little bit more scary. Because again, having an uppercut probably could have been more fearsome if the V-shift was there, or we saw it on a regular basis. Oh, sorry about that. That was a bit, I didn't hear anything there. But yeah, Ryan also as well, because I know you said you weren't used to the matchup as a whole, not so much focusing on the new aspects of the match, because I don't know how well you know of Mika's new changes as well as how she's going to use V-shift there. Is this a matchup you're going to run long-term, Sagat versus Mika, or are you going to consider using Urien?
I think if I had the choice, you know, both characters in shape, both in optimal form, I would probably go with Urien for that, just for damage output and opportunity, you know, just for opportunity for damage. I think Urien can match, definitely outmatch Sagat there. But yeah, I've just been playing Sagat recently. He's the character that I'm most in shape with, if you can call it that, you know, and so I just went with him. But in terms of Sagat versus Mika, that's not a matchup I know. You know, that's not a matchup I've played a lot of, even before. So there's a lot of ways to exploit my lack of knowledge in that matchup there, and Luffy did that really well.
Okay. Veggey, have you got any questions for the gentleman?
Yeah, you know, after the changes to the patch, you went when you've gone back to Sagat. I say back to, I mean, you didn't play in that much in 5, I think, until maybe recently, but it was your main in 4. Do you feel like Urien was affected a lot by V-Shift, or do you think he just doesn't really care about it?
I mean, he was definitely, you know, Aegis was definitely affected. I don't know if I'd say, you know, Urien's general game plan was heavily affected, but yeah, I mean, if you look at before, when you had moves like EX knee drop or metallic sphere, like moves that you could just all kind of throw out.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you do have V-shift for those things. You do have things where you can kind of, I mean, V-shift is essentially a 2-button backdash that slows the screen down. So it gives you the opportunity to react to anything. It gives you fast reactions. It only takes one V gauge, and it slows the game down, and you get to see in order to react to what happens on screen. So, you know, that definitely helps. Look at Aegis as well. Aegis gets heavily nerfed by the V-shift. Just the fact that it's an option means that the Urien player has to think about that. He has to think of setups within setups now, just to, you know, negate the potential of V-shift.
Yeah, you know, in your set against Luffy today, after the first reverse, like Jammerz spoke about earlier, I was thinking that maybe one of the reasons why you wouldn't like V-shift as much on defense was because you were thinking that this time the bait is coming, and you know how that sometimes balls on, like keeps on rolling, when you're thinking that this out now it has to come, and then you kind of like regret not using it. Was it like that?
No,
at all,
you
no?
give me way too much credit there. Like, it was just something I was just using it, but it isn't something that's part of my standard game plan yet. First I have to form my like experience versus Mika with Sagat, and then create a game plan, and then decide where to implement V-shift. So I'm way off from that. But yeah, thanks for the props though. Yeah, man, it was totally planned. I didn't want to get baited. Yeah,
No, look,
I knew.
I'll say it to you, and I'll say it to Luffy as well as the viewers at home. It's like, look, we're still in the early stages of V-shift, because like it's been 3 weeks, right? But if you don't experiment with it, you don't try, even if the outcome is not in your favor, right? Even if you don't try, because if you don't know, you're never going to know where not to use it and where to use it, right? Because again, the one time you did use it was after a jab, like Luffy mentioned, and then it was to avoid a delayed Lady Mika, which she got a back throw there and then put him in the corner. But then it's, for me, and probably Luffy can answer this as well, because usually people are just going to do a V-shift on Mika's wake-up just to avoid the grab mix-up and whatnot, but that pushes them slow to the corner. But if he goes for a regular throw, and I think you can punish, guaranteed punishes the Extreme Peach. I'm not sure if you can punish a V-shift in certain scenarios with the stand fist. Can you do that, Luffy?
No, you can't.
Okay.
I mean, depend on the timing. If I do a throw right on his wake up, if he does V-shift, I can do stand fierce, and I can even do clap as well.
Okay.
But if I do light grab and he did V-shift between, my only option is to EX pitch.
Okay, cool. Because I know she is one of the characters to spend the meter.
That's why it's very strong right after one light, because if I don't even have meter, my only possible finish might be stand medium kick. That's all. I mean, that's a pretty good to be out of Mika range.
Okay. Right, Luffy, I want to ask you another question as well. Now, obviously, you got tons of commitments, and again, I'm not sure a lot of people know this, but I think you two are you've had the most sponsors, or you've definitely been like partners, sponsored, and been doing this stuff full time for a very long time. Luffy, how do you obviously commit to your job and still manage to maintain this level of play for Street Fighter 5?
I mean, I don't have like a regular job. In SF5, I'm a full-time pro player.
Okay.
Yeah. In SF4, yeah, I had like a job, and I was still playing. Like, it was just for fun, you know. But yeah, in SF5, I'm full-time. I would say it's not easy to stay at the top because of the volatility of SF5. And so much strong player in the competition right now compared to before. Like, I mean, before you went to a tournament, there was maybe 2 Japanese or 3 Japanese. Now there is like 30, so it's much harder. But I think that like a fighting a player is strong because he really understands the depth of a fighting game. And I really think that if anyone that was strong like in SF4 and SF5, it could be like Phenom, ProMX, Ryan, Punk, Daigo, Tokido, blah blah blah. I think that you can put them in any fighting game, they will be strong just because they are very strong in understanding how a fighting game works.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Veggey, you got any other questions?
Yeah, it's not really related to this matchup, but you don't really enter a lot of online tournaments, Luffy. But I mean, you've entered the Wanted series, and I think I've seen you in Salt Mine a couple of times.
I think the one time he entered Salt Mine, he won, then he left.
Yeah, so was that a proof? He just came in to show. No, but do you feel like you not entering online tournaments makes it so that you're like on a back? What's it called, like a little bit behind when there is a tournament that you want to participate in, like the Capcom Pro Tour? Or do you think it doesn't really makes a difference for you if you are entering these tournaments or not? And yeah, it's like, do you think that you not entering might have made it harder for you when you first had to go last year? Since I know it was a struggle in the online CPT, even though you went far, but not as far as some might think you would.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, I've been doing, I've been entering competition since 10 years, offline and online. Even I remember well, like in SF4 when I was starting the game, like playing at home, I was joining a lot of online tournaments because I wasn't joining offline tournaments so often. So it was great for me to feel competition, just simply feeling competition. But now that I've entered so much offline competition that getting into an online competition right now just doesn't give me the thrill, doesn't give me the pressure of a competition. I mean, it's good to train stuff, of course, but even if I'm joining to train stuff, the fact that it's online and we all know that it's not perfect might be actually more frustrating to me. And because imagine let's say I'm joining the tournament as Mika and I want to train against Problem or Hurricane, for example, that are joining the same tournament than me. The fact that it's online and maybe I can't react to a single drop kick from cannon strike from Cam will be actually frustrating because I might because maybe offline I might be able to react to this dive kick I took on it online, so it doesn't really show the truth.
Yeah, your true potential, like your 100% skill level in terms of like reaction and the knowledge there. And then obviously with online being how it is, it could definitely hinder. And you guys definitely, Ryan has mentioned this before when he's spoken to Problem X on one of his streams once, is this impacts the game like very much so, because you can lose rounds very quickly. It's not so much why did I get hit, it's why am I dead? Like, why is it round 2? Why is it the next game? Because of small things like that. It's a very big deal. It's a very big deal.
Yeah, it's more like it's not. Yeah, the answer. It's not why did I get it. The answer will be why didn't I react in time because it's online.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, I played the sets against Ryan. I'm pretty convinced that if we were offline, there was maybe half drop kick wouldn't get through his block. Maybe he will DP, maybe he would light punch, maybe not. But to be sure, it has to be offline because we know that there is nothing that will hinder the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ryan concurs with you in that regard there as well. Ryan, one more question before we let you two go. So your roster right now, I did mention this when we were talking about the balance change. We've got you guys on as an interview. So you got Sagat, you got Urian. Are you still dabbling with Ryu? Is that correct?
So there's a little bit of dabbling with Ryu going on. There's a couple of other characters I'm interested in. Maybe a command grab character.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Who else has got your fancy?
I'm looking at Ed. I'm looking at Birdie. I mean, there's a lot of options because there's so many good characters right now. And I think there's a few characters that are probably a little bit slept on at the moment. So it's going to be a question of time, though. You know, I know what I want to do, but if I have the time to do that, it's going to be another question. So I think that's, you know, another matchup that I'm currently dealing with. You know, like a good day for me is getting my baby to sleep without an entire theatre performance. You know, that is, so that is kind of where I'm at the moment.
That's difficult in its own right. But again, hopefully you and your family are doing well, Ryan, as well as your missus as well. Luffy, hope everyone is doing good and staying safe. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for giving us your time playing that set and having a little chat with us regardless. We're going to have to love you and leave you and have our closing moments here. Hopefully we'll get you guys back on in the future, maybe against each other as a run back or maybe against two complete different opponents. We shall see. But guys, keep playing Street Fighter and I'll speak to you guys very soon.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Take care, gents. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sitting down and watching that set. It was very interesting to see that Ryan said, and again, that's a very big deal because everyone learns at different speeds. So Ryan is still, as you guys saw, it was evidently clear that his knowledge on the Mika matchup is severely lacking. So he's not going to get to that V-shift stage until he feels comfortable with playing Mika as a character as a whole. And again, there's actually not many Mika players of a level Ryan will probably want to practice that are actively playing right now. And obviously, Luffy is the cream of the crop there. And then look, if you get decimated like that, well, you can definitely learn a couple of things from there. But there's definitely a lot of experimentation to go down there, Veggey. What do you think?
I think, yeah, because we used to have two Mikas, but one of them is kind of probably more in the past, but since one of them is gone, you would have to practice that match against Luffy. But I still think that it would be nice to learn by doing a bit more maybe in the set and maybe throw, as we spoke of, throw out V-shifts. I wanted to see more V-shifts and show people how it affects Mika because I do think it affects her a lot. But we didn't get to see that this time. But maybe if they'll have a run back some show in the future, we might see more of it. Or just another matchup in general with Luffy. We might get to see when they play Soundboy against Luffy, for instance, on Salt Mine a couple of weeks ago. We saw a lot more V-shifting, but then again, Luffy might not be as ready for it. So it would be cool to see that evolution of the gameplay from Luffy's side.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hey, maybe we might have to actually purposely set him up with one of Mika's harder matchups. Maybe we have to get someone that actively uses V-shift all the time. But like you said, it's the learning stages for everyone. We're 3 weeks in. People are still getting to grips with certain things. And Ryan is he's still coming back in there. And like I said, he's been sticking with Sagat for the most part. But there will be other characters. I was interested when he said Ed. I was like, Ryan Hart, Ed, same sentence. I was like, I know Ed's gotten a lot of better changes, but is he a Ryan Hart character? I don't know, I'm not convinced.
But I think I think actually he could be a good birdie because he's a reactional player a lot, and that's a reactional character. I've said that to him before, actually. I don't know if he remembers, but I think he could actually do well playing birdie. It's a good pick for him if he gets like, no, I don't see why not. I think it has a lot of carryover from zoning characters to that character. And since, as I said, it's reactionary, I would like to see him try that. But Ed, I think, is overhyped. While he is like stronger than before, there's still a lot of risk to all this high reward. All this high reward has high risk, and he doesn't, like I spoke to a friend of mine who is an Ed main, he does not even have something like a true tick throw, so it's hard for him to stop people. So I think that he's stronger, but I think he's kind of overhyped. If you play a bit more against him. He's not like a bad character, but
the
flaws are there.
He's far from bad now. Before he
Yes.
wasn't in the game, and slowly they've been integrating into the game. Now he's a buffed Ed. But last season he was in the game. Now he's a buffed Ed. He can work. I'm curious to see if Ryan Hart will actually go through with that. I do agree with Veggey. We might see a little bit of Birdie. Right now, let's let him get to stick with the Sagat and the Yuri in here. But yeah, I mean, look, I know it was a washing. I know people wanted more games and more actions, but we have set the show to first to sevens. We have been dabbling with the idea of extending it. But guys, you're going to have to let us know at HC Jammerz, at Veggey SF, at Capcom Fighters. Go, we demand first to 10 on sets. We demand more action there. We didn't think this was going to be a 7-1. I'm going to put my hands up high. We didn't think this was going to be a 7-1, right? But listen. The sets, the matches, they go against our predictions there. And that's the beauty of Street Fighter 5. But yeah, guys, can we roll the ads for the up-and-coming sets? Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we got a very interesting one coming your way as well. We got Big Bird coming on the show, going up against a guy that he trains on a regular basis. And this guy, take it from me, I think he's pretty decent. His name is GTR. He actually traveled to a lot of offline events in 2019. He has a very mean guild. I think he does play Sagat. I think he plays Karen. We'll have a chat with him when he comes on. But Big Bird, hey, listen, he's no slouch, and he's no stranger to this scene. Runner-up at EVO, Southeast Asia major champion as well. Oh, look, there you go. And then that's going to be the following week afterwards. We've got a classic with Hurricane going up against Mr. Crimson on Monday, March the 29th. We're going to see how these sets go first, because we are still experimenting with this whole show. But I think, hopefully you guys are still enjoying the whole interviews, pre-match, post-match, and the sets themselves, and the commentary by myself and Veggey. But who is going to be next? Now, guys, this is going to be interesting. I want you to tweet at, like I said, myself at HC Jammerz, at Veggey's account, Veggey SF, or at Capcom Fighters. Who would you like to see in an exhibition here on the show? This could be anyone around the world. We want to gauge interest. We want to see how far we can go with this. If you guys don't give us any names, well, we're just going to get our list lined up. We got a couple of things lined up for you guys, but we want to see who you guys want to see. What characters do you want to see? Guys, it's all about communications. Help me help you, right? It's all about talking out here. And I know this community is very vocal, and I know you guys have got your Twitter fingers at the ready. So let me know on Twitter at HC Jammerz. Let us know. And do not forget, guys, premium European action here on the Salt Mine League. You can follow them on their social media outlets, the YouTube, the Twitch, and the Twitter, to know when their weekly schedule, or whatever it is on their weekly schedule, is live. Monday with their Salt Mine sets, Friday with the King of the Salt Mine, and then Sunday, the regular ranking tournament. I think there's 2 left in this season, the extended season of the 12 weeks, the Salt Mine League EU Open Bracket. I might have to enter 1 or 2, because I actually haven't played in one of these this season at all. I might have to press some buttons and get upset at an Ed player or a Cody player. Someone. I don't know. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it from us tonight. Do not forget, make sure you tweet at either myself or Veggey or Capcom Fighters who you'd like to see next on the show. And let us, again, keep giving us feedback. Let us know your opinions on the show sets as a whole, because we want to bring you more depth, more insight from these players, and just to give you guys something more to consider when you are training, labbing, watching your favorite streamer regarding Street Fighter 5. Keep on using V-Shift. But Veggey, you got any last words? Anything you want to say?
Time.
Oh, you do?
I'm ready for this question. I've been preparing. I got 2 things. Are you ready? I got 2 things. Is that okay? Or is it too
Talk
much
to
time?
me.
2 things. Okay.
2
First
things,
thing,
apparently.
First thing. Ready? Dawson is still good.
Oh.
Don't forget. Don't listen.
Richard
He's
cut the
still
string.
good. And second. Ready?
I'm listening.
This one's really good. This one is so good.
I'm listening.
Blanca is not that. No, just show. That's not funny. Anyway, yeah. V-Shift, we need 1 more input, because for birdie players who charge with Bullhorn, that does not work when you want to be an optimal charger with medium kick. So we you have medium kick, heavy punch, and then we also need medium punch, heavy kick. That's it. That's the second.
Is this your personal letter to Capcom? Capcom Fighters,
yes,
or
personal
Capcom?
letter. Both statements is a personal letter.
Matter of fact, I got an email account open to Washige now. I'll let him know that you want an extra input for a V-Shift, and I'll make sure they take away Birdie's damage output of V-Trigger 1 while we're at it as well. I've got a couple of things.
Oh, you can do that. I play V-Trigger 2 anyways. I don't care. Just do that. Whatever.
No, that's completely fine. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys. We will see you next week on another episode of Sets with Big Bird going up against GTR. Keep playing. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. Take care.